Welcome back inside the coach's room. I am Petey here on location in Raleigh, North Carolina, getting ready for game number 5. But first, we got to go back and take a look at game number 4. I tell you what, this one's coming out a little late again after a red eye from Vegas to Raleigh. I tell you what, these two cities could be a little bit closer for this travel schedule, but this series has been absolutely fantastic. For a series that we expected to be 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, man, we're getting all kinds of scoring. It's one of the highest scoring Stanley Cup Finals in history. This is so fun to watch. And I tell you what, you never know what's going to happen next. No lead is safe in this game. So let's do what we do. And let's get to the video and let's see what happened on all of these goals from game 4. And we're going to start off a minute into the first period. And I tell you what, the Carolina Hurricanes have dominated in this first period. They are out shooting Vegas Golden Knights 41-14 in the first periods over the last 4 games. And I tell you what, Vegas had the most shots they've had in the entire series in the first period was 6 in game 4. That's not enough. They need to have a better start here in game 5 as we come into Carolina. So let's go to the video. This starts on a face-off. Stankoven's got the face-off, and it's tied up. He's doing his job. He's tying up the centerman, but this is about Blake. Look where the puck is sitting, and look how Blake's able to come in from behind. He's able to push this back to Chatfield. Chatfield pulls it to the middle, creates some space, but he's got nowhere to go. There's just all of this traffic in here, and he looks like this was his intent all along, just get the puck back into the zone, get the puck low in the zone. He throws the puck low in the zone, and this is where we talk about where the defensive mistake happens. Stankoven and Eichel are centers, and usually when you lose a faceoff, it's center on center. Eichel's responsibility is to stay on the defensive side, which is the other side of Stankoven off of the faceoff, and he doesn't. So as this puck comes off of the wall, you can see everybody's on the defensive side. The defenseman's on the defensive side. You go to the other defenseman's on the defensive side. The only one that isn't is Eichel and Stankoven. Stankoven's all alone, so as this puck comes off the wall, you got to look at Carter Hart. Carter Hart can't handle it. It just sits at his feet. It comes right to Stankoven. Stankoven bangs this one in. So let's look at this from a different angle. And I got to say, Chatfield, I don't know if he planned this. This is a heck of a shot coming off the back wall. I just think he's trying to get back into the traffic so they can come and get forechecking on this. I don't think this was a set play to bounce in front of the net. If it was, that's absolutely fantastic on Chatfield. So as you can see this puck coming, look at Carter Hart. He's got to have that just under his stick, and he's got to have that. If it stops there, this play is over. But unfortunately, it bounces right out to Stankoven. Eichel's on the wrong side. Eichel can't get on Stankoven. It's 1-0, 1 minute into this game, and the Carolina Hurricanes keep the pressure on in the first period as the power play comes to an end. This puck's going to go to Ehlers. Ehlers just going to shoot this puck at the net, but what it does, it comes right out in front to McNabb, and McNabb just needs to dump this puck. Dump this puck. I know there's 5 seconds left right now on the power play. Get the puck out. His responsibility is just bang it out. Get it out of the zone, but he tries to be a little more creative, and he tries to bump this puck to Marner. Unfortunately, Marner's not ready for that play. So this puck goes past Marner and goes back to the Carolina Hurricanes. And Nikishin gets this puck, and now it's set up again for a low play. As Ehlers gets ready, McNabb starts to come out. When McNabb comes out, that allows all of this room in behind to Taylor Hall. Ehlers reads this really well. Waits for the penalty killer to come, gives Hall all this room down to the net, and Hall makes no mistake. Hall's not trying to drive the net here. Hall is trying to get this puck all the way across to Blake, which he does, and he puts it right through the feet of the Vegas Golden Knight defender. Blake makes no mistake. The power play clock had just ended. This is a 5-on-5 goal, and now it's 2-0, and look how tight this is for Hall down low as he's trying to make this pass through the seam at the net, just under the stick, and it gets to Blake, and Blake's able to bury this one again. What a first period for the Carolina Hurricanes. But Vegas gets on the board next, and it starts 200 feet from their net. And something they've done well in this series, you're going to see Stone all the way up here. They've been able to stretch the zone, meaning they make the long play from their defensive zone all the way up through the neutral zone with a player getting behind the defense. And let's keep an eye on Stone as this puck comes back into Theodore in his defensive zone, and he's getting ready to throw this puck all the way up the ice. Now, what happens to the Carolina Hurricanes? Well, they're going for a change. And you can see all of the players trying to get into this, trying to make this change into the box. Ehlers comes late. Slavin can't get over across the middle, and Stone's able to put this one in to make this 2-1. But you can't get a true picture of this goal unless you look at it from behind. So when you get the high look, and you see that there's 2 players trying to make a change for the Carolina Hurricanes. And again, we talk about changing the play. You can make the change when the puck's going this way or when the puck's low in the zone. But when the puck's coming back at you, man, you better make your changes quick because you got to get back out on the ice to defend. So two are trying to go off. Slavin is looking at the puck, and his momentum is carrying him up because he wants to gap up. And we talk about gapping up, and that's being tight to the opponent in the neutral zone. So Slavin is trying to gap up, but what he doesn't notice is Stone coming in behind. Ehlers recognizes that he's trying to get to the bench, but now he recognizes, Stone's all alone. I better get back on the ice. So instead of going for changing, you see his changing partner has got his legs over the boards. He comes back into the play, but it's too late. This puck gets by Slavin. It gets by Ehlers. It gets out to Stone. Stone is able to get this by Bussy. Vegas is on the board. It is 2-1. Late in the first period, this time on the power play. I want to show you a few things on this power play for the Carolina Hurricanes. And this will be the fourth goal they have in the last 3 games. Gostisbehere is trying to move this penalty killer. And when he moves towards that penalty killer, he pulls him out. He draws him out. What does that do? So when he pushes the puck over to Aho, now Aho has more room because he pulled the penalty killer out to him. Aho is trying to figure out what his options are. He can't get through this player. This is the player that just came down. And that's going to be important here in a little bit, that this player came down. But he can't get through the seam because there's a player in their way. He can't get the puck down low because there's a stick in the seam. So he's got no choice but to bring the puck up. But again, this is the penalty kill that it was up high on Gostisbehere that now came down to defend Aho. So when Aho throws his puck back, now look at all the room that Gostisbehere has. This player was tight to Gostisbehere, but just by putting the puck back and getting it back from the half wall from Aho, it's opened up all this room. So Gostisbehere delivers the puck to the net right away. Stahl's in front, as he often is. But this puck goes off McNabb. And McNabb knocks his puck down right into the feet of Staal. Staal scores again in this series. He has scored in every single game of the Stanley Cup Final. Puts this one in on the power play, giving Carolina a 3-1 lead. And we talk about this puck getting a look at McNabb's stick, just hits him in the shaft. If he lets this one go, Carter Hart gloves this one, and this play is over. But he doesn't. Bangs it down. And unfortunately, the defenseman in front can't hold and stay under the stick of Staal. Staal's strong. He gets his stick free. He's able to tap this one in. Carolina leaves the first period up 3-1. So let's go to the second. 3-1 as the Vegas Golden Knights are coming out of their zone. Here's Hanifin getting the puck up the wall. And he's trying to flip it. We've seen this over and over again, them trying to flip the puck up out of the zone. But watch what happens when Blake tries to keep the puck in. Blake gets his stick up. He's able to knock this down like a baseball player and keep this puck in the zone, hoping to get back on the forecheck. Unfortunately, he taps it right into Marner. He didn't see Marner coming. Marner's momentum puts it into his feet. And now the puck's going back the other way. And now Walker and Svechnikov are still going offensively. They're trying to create offense. They think the puck's getting by and getting deeper into the zone. But it doesn't. Marner gets by, and now it's a foot race between Marner and Blake. Marner wins this, not only wins the foot race, but he's able to put Blake on his back. And now look at Svechnikov and Walker, and that's going to be important. The two back checkers coming back into the zone are going to be important by the time this play gets back to the net. Marner's able to put Blake on the outside, a little tug by 53. I know we usually don't point out penalties, but it is a little tug. Marner's able to keep going, make the play. Puck rolls off his stick to Anderson, and now the two players that were back checking that got caught in the offensive zone are now back in the zone. Everything's fine. There are numbers back. It's 3-on-3 with a back checker. Everything's fine for Carolina. But they over back check it. Over back checking means they come deeper into the zone. And so here's what happens. As Anderson is going around the back of the net, there's his check. There's the check in front of the net. And there's the player that's responsible for Howden. That leaves Svechnikov. Svechnikov's got to stop. His responsibility is this area of the ice. He is the last player back into the zone. He's responsible for the two trailing players coming in behind because there's 3 players of each team in front of him. His responsibility is to recover and take care of the slot. But he doesn't. He drifts in and tries to take Howden all the way to the net. And not only does he take Howden all the way to the net, he curls to the outside and ends up outside the dot. So he's not defending anywhere near the front of the net where he's supposed to be. So by the time Anderson gets around the net, deliver this one to Karlsson in front of the net, Stankoven can't get there in time, and this one gets by Bussy, and it's 3-2. But I want you to see Stankoven, because this is important behind the play. Here's the two players on the back check, and this is the player we wanted to stop with Svechnikov. But look where Karlsson is side by each with Stankoven, right at the blue line. Stankoven can commit to Karlsson. He can stay there. He can watch him because he sees the puck going, but he drifts. He starts to drift away, and Karlsson starts to drift this way. That's one of the reasons Karlsson gets that much room. By the time Stankoven recognizes that, Karlsson's got all that room. Svechnikov had to stop, had to stay there. He didn't. Defensive mistakes cost the Carolina Hurricanes. Karlsson puts this one through a crowd that Bussy potentially can't see, and now it's 3-2. Late in the second period, again, Walker takes the shot. That's important. Why? Got a defenseman down low in the zone, and Jarvis has the puck along the wall. Jarvis tries to dump this one back deep so they can stay in the offensive zone and try to get on the cycle again. But it hits Hanifin. Hanifin creates the turnover, and the puck dribbles out to the top of the circle. Karlsson bumps it up quick, and why is that important? Because he catches all of these Carolina Hurricanes when he's able to bump this puck to Sissons. Sissons bumps it right away to Howden. Howden's able to put this one in. I want you to see how good Sisson drives the puck. Now, does that influence Bussy at all? I don't know. But these two guys are coming awful fast at the net. Howden's able to make an unbelievable play to get this puck past Miller, and he's able to put this through Bussy all in one motion. And you see this motion. He takes the shot, puts it between the legs of Miller. Hard for Bussy to pick up that read. This one goes in. And I tell you, we got a hockey game again. It is 3-3, halfway through the third period. And let's break down the heroic goal by Staal as Chatfield dumps this puck in. Ehlers bangs it with his stick, and now it's a forecheck. Now it's all about Staal and Theodore. Theodore takes the net. Now he's got options here. He's got the easy play to his partner McNabb along the wall. He's trying to make this play through the middle to Hurdle, but he doesn't. It hits the skate of Staal. Staal's pursuit of this puck on the forecheck creates the chaos, creates the turnover. Off of his foot, goes to Jarvis. And now all of this room is open, not because of poor defending by Vegas, but they had the puck. They're anticipating a breakout. They were all in breakout position. These two forwards are leaving the zone, get ready to be on offense. Everybody was prepared to play on the offensive side of the puck. But because of Staal's foot, this puck bounces out to Jarvis. And now see where Theodore and Staal are. We've said it over and over and over again in the Stanley Cup Final. You have to take your check off the wall. What does that mean? That means Theodore has to beat Staal back to the front of the net. That's his responsibility. Great save by Hart. Pushes this puck into the corner. 3-3 tie. And now look at Vegas and they're defending. We've already got 3 guys on Jarvis. And if you've got 3 guys on Jarvis, that's one too many. And they had another one. Shea Theodore, we talked about Theodore, and his responsibility is the front of the net. He's got to defend the front of the net. He's got to stay here. He's got to hold. He's got to stop. And he doesn't. So as he goes, chases the puck too, you end up with 4 Vegas Golden Knights on one player, all below the goal line, all on the same side of the ice. Why is that a problem? Because you have 2 Carolina Hurricanes in close proximity to the front of the net, and nobody is defending the front of the net. One of the strengths of the Vegas Golden Knights this entire playoffs has been their ability to defend the front of the net. They don't do that here. They leave the front of the net open. The puck's bouncing out, and again, just an unfortunate play. McNabb is trying to just clear this puck and get it into a safe area, but it rolls off a stick and it goes right to Ehlers. And Ehlers makes one heck of a play. Ehlers gets his on and off his stick quickly. He doesn't wait, and lucky he does because Theodore gets his stick almost in there. And that's my point. If Theodore would have held here, this play doesn't happen. If he protects the front of the net, this play doesn't happen. Ehlers puts it through, but because of all of these sticks, the puck kind of comes off funny. And I tell you what, Staal doesn't read it, and watch him fumble and bumble, but he still gets a stick on it. Hart can't get across. Staal puts this one in again. Staal has been absolutely on fire for this Cup Final, and as this puck comes around, you're going to see it come off the right skate and go right to Jarvis. That's what forechecking does. Now, he didn't do it intentionally, but he's there, and he did it. He had his motor running, and he got to the right place. Great save again, but look at all of these players attacking. Now, that's where Theodore needs to be. He needs to be right there, and if he's right there, the pass from Ehlers over to across to Staal doesn't happen. Here we show McNabb bumping it to Ehlers. Ehlers quick pass, and there's 11 falling down. And look at this play as he's hitting the ice and falling the wrong direction, gets just enough on it to get up and over Hart. Hart almost makes this save. It was that close to being stopped by Carter Hart. Staal has been absolutely elite for these Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes add an empty netter, win this one 5-3, and more importantly, they tie this series at 2, going back home to Lenovo Center for Game 5. I'll tell you what, this series has been everything we've expected. This has been unbelievable hockey. This is so fun to watch. I have no idea what's going to happen next in this series. I tell you this, the Vegas Golden Knights need to be better in the first period. They've been absolutely dominated the first 20 minutes, outshot 41-14 in the first 20 minutes. They have to be ready to play, and they have to be ready at the start of the puck. Look for them to be more on their forecheck early in this game. For Carolina, continue to shut down Vegas between the blue lines, because all 3 Vegas goals originated from the rush. all off of turnovers or mistakes by the Carolina Hurricanes. Hey, let's face it, both of these teams need to play as close to mistake-free hockey as they can, because when they're making mistakes, they're ending up in the back of the net. Bussy was unbelievable in his first start in this entire playoffs, 18 saves. So now he's given up 4 on 40 saves over the 2 games that he had played. I would anticipate him to start, but I have no idea. Like he said on the post-game interview on ESPN, he said, "I'm not the coach, Rod is." So we'll find out from Rod Benmore tomorrow if Bussy gets his second start in the role. I would anticipate it, but what the heck do I know? The series is tied. The hockey's been great. I'll be here breaking down film for games 5, 6, and maybe even 7. So make sure you're tuned in and subscribed to Inside the Coach's Room. Thanks for joining me. I'm Petey, and we'll see you at the rink.